if you start looking at the Earth, where the crust is not a solid bed of rocks and dirt, but more dense filament of electrified plasma that's moving at a slower rate than most of the plasma in the universe, our perception of reality begins to change. And you can look at things like the inner Earth and the inner Sun that's talked about in ancient teaching of the mystery schools, and understand that what they're talking about is just a coherent ball of plasma or a coherent region in which people could live inside of it alongside of us. More to that, people have been talking about fairies, gnomes, ghosts, spirits, angels, archangels. All of these things could actually be taking on the form of what we call dark mode in terms of how plasmas present themselves to our eyes. Plasmas can be in the state commonly referred to as glow mode or dark mode. They both operate exactly how they sound, as where dark mode is not visible to the naked eye and glow mode is very visible. These are the neon signs and different gas-based lights that we have. However, there's not much difference between a plasma in dark mode and a plasma in glow mode, other than the amount of energy that is flowing through it. Because it takes a lot of energy to get a plasma to the point where we can see it with our naked eyes. And this is due to how our eyes see an absurdly high range of electromagnetic frequencies in relationship to the world we live in. We actually, in a way, only see the shadow of our reality, because everything that's not absorbed is what we see. So when we look at ourselves, we don't see ourselves, we see what we aren't. And that opens up a whole slew of ideas that tie back into Plato's allegory of the cave, and even how everything that exists in our reality takes place within our heads. It also adds validity to how people say they can see auras or mentally interact with different beings, but only in their mind's eye. Because just because our physical eyes cannot see the electromagnetic reality that exists around us, our brain in itself is electromagnetic, and that electro web that inhabits the different cells and dendrites is actually itself a plasma. So when you think about things like telepathy and how you can sometimes feel like you know things you shouldn't know, this all ties back to how plasma can be embedded within other plasmas.